Meet Edge. One quiet Sunday, his phone shows him an old photograph. Two friends, two coffees, and laughter that once felt permanent. He smiles, before he even realizes he is doing it. Then he notices the date beneath the picture, and his chest tightens. They have not spoken properly, in almost a year. He opens their chat, expecting the closeness to still be there. The old messages are full. The recent ones are almost empty. There was no fight, no goodbye, just less and less. He scrolls past jokes that nobody else would understand. Voice notes sent from buses, bedrooms, and difficult afternoons. Pictures of meals they promised they would try together. Plans made with the confidence that there would always be time. Then, he reaches their last real conversation. The friend was busy, tired, and dealing with too much. He replied that it was fine. Their meeting moved to the following week. Then, the week after that. Full conversations became short replies. Birthdays became a small symbol, sent at the end of the day. And he wonders, when did we stop knowing each other? He types, "Did I do something wrong?" Then deletes it. He types, "I miss talking to you," then deletes that too. He puts the phone down. But the conversation continues inside him. That is when he notices two mugs on the shelf. They use them almost every weekend. His mug has a small chip near the handle. The other has been collecting dust. He takes both of them down, washes them, and places them across from each other. Maybe one honest invitation could bring the friendship back. He sends a simple message. "Coffee this week?" The message is delivered. He clears the table, as though the answer is already yes. He moves the second chair closer, then checks the phone. Nothing. He makes coffee anyway. The clock moves slowly through the afternoon. Finally, the phone lights up. "Sorry, busy week. Maybe soon." He reads the words, "maybe soon," again. Suddenly, every old maybe appears beside it. New jobs, new places, new responsibilities. Every reason had been real. But real reasons had still created a real loss. His mind begins looking for someone to blame. Was he too needy? Too distant? Too quiet when something needed to be said? Should he have tried harder? He begins writing a long message, apologizing for mistakes he cannot clearly name, explaining feelings the other person never asked him to defend. Then, he deletes everything. He presses the call button and stops before it rings. Reaching out feels like forcing something that no longer fits, but staying silent feels like agreeing that it is over. Across from him, the second coffee slowly becomes cold. When he lifts the mug, a pale circle remains beneath it. He wipes it once. The mark does not disappear. It looks small, but somehow it holds years. Late conversations, when neither of them knew what to do. Messages sent before frightening days. Laughter over things nobody else would understand. The mug is no longer used, but that does not mean it was never full. He looks at the empty chair differently. Maybe the friendship did not fail. Maybe it carried them through the years that needed it. That thought still hurts, but it hurts more gently than blame. For once, the sadness exists without becoming shame. He opens a notebook to a clean page. Not to win the friendship back, but to say the things silence never allowed him to say. Thank you for knowing the person I used to be. Thank you for making difficult years feel lighter. Thank you for the ordinary days I thought would never end. I wish we had said goodbye more clearly. I do not know whether we can become close again, but I will not call those years a mistake. He reads the page slowly, then folds it without sending it. Some words are written to understand, not to be delivered. He places the letter beside the faded circle, then opens the chat one more time. I found our old photo. I hope you are okay. No pressure. He sends it, then turns the phone face down. This time, he does not sit beside it waiting. He opens the window and lets the room breathe. For months, he had wanted proof that the friendship remained. Now, he stops demanding that it return exactly as it was. He washes his mug and places the other one gently back on the shelf. The phone buzzes behind him. I think of those days too. Life changed more than I expected. I am glad we had them. The reply does not bring the old friendship back. There is affection in it, but no promise. And strangely, that is enough. He answers, "Me too. Take care of yourself." No demand, no hidden test. He places the photograph inside the notebook, then notices another message he has postponed for weeks. Someone had quietly asked whether he wanted to take a walk. He almost replies, maybe soon. Instead, he writes, tomorrow? He puts on his shoes and steps outside. He has not replaced anyone. He has simply stopped, closing the door. This story is not really about a photograph, 2 mugs, or a message. It is about friendships that end without announcing the ending. Many adult friendships fade slowly, instead of breaking in one dramatic moment. Distance, new routines, work, marriage, and parenthood can change contact. Across adulthood, friendship circles often change and become smaller. But a smaller circle does not automatically mean a worse life. The care inside it can matter more than the number around it. When we were younger, friendship often lived inside the schedule. Same classroom, same street, same free evening. Adulthood removes much of that automatic closeness. Then friendship needs time, ordinary contact, and small moments of catching up. That is why silence can feel so confusing. Nothing terrible happened, yet something important disappeared. And because friendship has no official breakup ritual, you may search for the exact moment you ruined it. Sometimes there was a hurt that needed a conversation. Sometimes both people cared, but neither crossed the growing distance. Sometimes one person kept reaching while the other stepped away. And sometimes, ending the friendship protects both people from more pain. Not every lost friendship should be repaired, but every meaningful loss deserves honesty. Ask yourself, do I miss them, or only who we were together? Then ask, is there still care and effort on both sides? If there is, send one simple message. Not an accusation, not a demand, just an open door. I miss you. I value what we had. Would you like to reconnect? If the answer is warm, rebuild slowly, through real time together. If silence continues, you are still allowed to grieve and move forward. A friendship can end and still have been real. Share this with someone you remember.